Welcome to this video about using the AACOMAS system to apply for graduate degrees of osteopathic medicine in the United States. So AACOMAS stands for the American Association for Colleges of Osteopathic Medicine Application Service, and this is required to be successful in applying to become an osteopathic physician within the United States. So this video will specifically focus on using the experiences section in this application service. So to first access the experiences section, you want to go to the main web page. So to do that, make sure that you are on the title page and go to the upper left-hand corner where it says My Application and click that. Once you are there, you'll see 4 tabs: Personal Information, Academic History, Supporting Information, and Program Materials. So make sure to click the bottom left corner where it says Supporting Information. In Supporting Information, there are 4 sections again: Evaluations, Experiences, Achievements, and Personal Statement. Make sure to click the section that says Experiences. Now we get to the main Experiences web page, and this includes a brief instruction and overview of the experiences, as well as an opportunity to add experience and a way to look at where your current experiences are added and how they look like. So the first thing to consider is that once you submit your application for this, you cannot edit previously entered experiences. You can, however, add new experiences and update ones that are in progress. So this means that if you add an experience which you entered incorrectly, but already submitted it, you can no longer change it. So again, make sure to thoroughly review your experiences. On the plus side, if you add an experience that you're currently doing or a new experience and there is a significant update to it, you can indicate that so in your application. So your experiences can fall under 6 specific categories: as an extracurricular activity, as a health-related experience, as a non-healthcare employment, as research, as teaching experience, or non-healthcare volunteer community enrichment. So one thing to consider is that an experience cannot include one or more of these categories. It can only include one of the categories of these 6 to fit under. So to really consider what those experiences are, make sure to go through your resume and make sure to brainstorm or mind map your different experiences that you've done so you can figure out which category they belong in. Once you are ready to add an experience, you can scroll down and click where it says Add an experience here. So let's click that. Now, once we get to this section, we can clearly identify what our experiences are, and we can add all the information and details necessary to fulfill these requirements. So the first thing is that it asks is what the experience type is, and again, it's one of those 6 options as extracurricular activities, healthcare experience, non-healthcare employment, research, teaching experience, or non-healthcare volunteer or community enrichment. Next is to add the information about the organization, so the name, the address, the city, the country, the zip code, the state, and province. The next section is to add the information about the supervisor and their contact information. So again, one thing to consider is that if you don't have your supervisor information, or if you did not have a supervisor, you could consider using a program coordinator, an organization liaison, a human resources professional, a volunteer coordinator, or other authority who can verify your experience at our employment and who can also detail some information about you and what your title was and what your responsibility was. Again, make sure to consult these individuals first before including their information, just in case they get contacted later. The next thing to consider is the experience date, so the start date, the end date, and whether or not it's a current experience, and the status. So typically, experiences are full-time or part-time. However, you can also indicate if it's temporary or per diem. And again, this is great for experiences you may have done briefly or sporadically, maybe something that was done in the summer or winter if it was seasonal, and also maybe something that you started later, then had a pause in it, and then did it later again in the future. So this is perfect for those types of experiences. The next section is to detail what the specific title of your experience was. So typically, this would be what your role was. For example, if you worked at a hospital ER department and you were a medical scribe, you can put that you were a medical scribe here. You can also include if you were compensated, so if you receive money or salary, if you receive academic credit, so maybe this was a course requirement for graduation, and also if it was a volunteer activities. The next thing is to put the number of weekly hours. Again, if you don't know how many hours you worked in a week, or if it changed pretty often, you can consider assessing your minimum or maximum expected weekly hours. And taking an average of those two. The last section is to include your description and key responsibilities of your activity. Again, you're only limited to 600 character count for this section. So this is 4 to 10 sentences or 85 to 100 words max on average. So again, make sure not to over-exaggerate, but also don't discount your activities. A tip for this section is to include your essential activities first, so what you typically did or what your major responsibilities were. And if you have extra room or space, you can include other minor responsibilities or activities you don't typically or normally do. Again, some other tips is to make sure that those responsibilities are clearly or coherently outlined, that they don't include complex jargon, and again, that they're appropriate for all reading levels. So again, once you are done, you can click on all the information and click Save or Continue. And again, this will show up as this in this bottom section. So your completed activities will be listed in chronological order, with your newest experiences near the top and your later experiences more at the bottom. And again, they'll have more information about them if you click the edit button here, which is shown by the pencil symbol, and you can see your specific descriptions of them. But again, this is the way to add experiences in AACOMAS, and this is how it will typically look like. If you found this video helpful, please make sure to stay tuned for more content regarding AACOMAS and applying for successful applications to graduate degrees of osteopathic medicine in the United States. Thank you.